I'm going to go through my final game, and this is going to go up on YouTube. So, so you're watching me pre-recorded, I guess. So I'm going to start now. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another recap video. We're actually live on Twitch right now, so I'm going to be posting this afterwards. And all the darlings are here live with me, but I'm going to be ignoring them for like 20 minutes while I record this recap. So I'm recapping the final round of the Olympiad. As you can see from the score on the screen, Ireland were playing against Nicaragua and we won 3.5 to half. Last time in the Olympiad we also played them and we ended up losing that match 3.5. So we actually got the perfect revenge. Well, I mean, would have been better if it was 4-0, but we'll settle for 3.5. So I was playing against 1700 Cristiana Urlena. Well, actually, she had a very long name. Martinez Orozco Cristiana Urlena. And actually, all the women on the team had a really long name as well. So I had to decide before the game whether I was going to play d4 or e4. And I really, really, really wanted to end on a collie. I wanted to end on a collie. I wanted the darlings to see me win a collie game because I hadn't actually gotten a collie. I got like variations of it, but not the pure collie. The only problem with it is that I had a game at the Olympiad that went like this against Hong Kong, and with bishop f5 you don't really get a decent collie setup because your bishop on d3 is going to be exchanged, and I didn't want her to prepare against that game. And I had already experienced someone else preparing, the Zimbabwe player, the Uganda player, I think, prepared against the game from Zimbabwe, and she just played the same thing and ended up out prepping me from the opening. But it still went well after that. So I didn't want her to just prepare something specific against the collie. So I knew that if I play e4, she's going to play the Caro-Kann, and I actually get a better version of the collie because I was planning to play the exchange Caro-Kann, which gets into a very, very, very similar structure to the collie, only your bishop is out on f4. So actually it's better. It's a better version of the collie. And it's actually a legit opening that people play all the time and don't make fun of. So I was expecting this to go how it did. So I actually, the timestamps aren't there, only my opponent's timestamps are there. But I actually had an hour and 30 minutes on the clock, 33 even, I think, around here. I had a lot of time on the clock. So I was playing very fast. And she actually didn't have, I didn't find any games where she played against this, so I wasn't really prepared against her. I didn't know which line she was going to play. There's a few things that you can play here, so this is all, I guess, main line. So instead of bishop f4, I can also play h3 to not allow the bishop to come to g4. The reason why you don't play knight f3 is because of bishop g4, and now this pin is a bit uncomfortable, so it's better to play the bishop out first, so that when bishop g4 comes, you can just move your queen out of the way, and then you bring your knight to d2, knight to f3, so they don't get a chance to double your pawns. So h3 here is also a move that I was considering on playing. And then you can play knight f3, and it gets into a very similar thing. It's just that you don't allow bishop g4. But usually here they play g6, you develop, and then they actually play bishop f5. And this is equal. I know this structure maybe looks quite bad for black because they're doubled f-pawns, and the g-file is open, but actually the rook can use the g-file and the knight can come into e4. So actually this is played very often for black. So, anyways, I played bishop f4. She played bishop g4, attacking my queen, and now queen b3 is the main move. So I'm actually threatening to take this pawn. It's not a poison pawn because I'm also hitting the knight. And here black has two moves, I guess, queen d7 or queen c8. So I was actually preparing against queen d7 because, in my opinion, it's the better version of the two. It's the better move because with queen d7, you'll play e6, and then you still have this bishop d6 move when you develop this bishop to exchange white's dark square bishop, and your queen is protecting that square. But if you bring it to c8, you're removing that option of playing bishop to d6. So I feel like it's a more comfortable setup for white. And also this queen on c8 its sole purpose, I guess, is to just defend this pawn. So I didn't think that was the best option, I guess, for her. But it's still the second most played move. I developed my knight to d2. I want to play knight f3 next, so I'm just developing my pieces. She played e6, she wants to develop her bishop. Knight out. So far this is all theory. I castled. And here, okay, this is all theory so far. We were playing these moves pretty quickly. And here she took, like, almost immediately, which I was really surprised about. No one has ever played this against me. No one has ever played this against me. It's a very, well, not that it's a strange move. It actually has, I looked at the database afterwards and it has been played before, but at least you should wait for h3 to come in, because here you're just encouraging white to have a better piece setup. The knight on d2 is, its main purpose is to come to f3 after you play knight to e5, and then you can reroute this knight. And then you also have the bishop pair. So here, if black just castles, the next move is rook e1, and you want to play knight e5. And you will kick this bishop, but usually the bishop goes back, and actually the bishop exchanges for the light square bishop. You don't really want to exchange it for a knight, because the knight can just be replaced. So when she took, I was surprised and very happy about it, because I thought, well, I get the bishop here, and now I have this beautiful light square bishop, which is just the beautiful Kale bishop. So, okay, let's see how it went. So I took with the knight, which it makes the most sense. You don't want to take with the pawn and double up your pawns. She castled, and now I played rook e1. So I want to bring my knight into e5. And later you'll see a beautiful rook lift coming. And that is probably what won me the game, is this rook lift idea. I'm so proud of this game. It's one of my favorite games that I've played. I did get a lot of help from her, but I think that there are some really nice ideas here. So she played a6. It's clear that white is playing on the king side and black is playing on the queen side. So she's preparing b5. The main move here is a4 to stop b5. So I was considering this move, but I thought that if I play it, I'm taking away some time from me rerouting on the king side. So I thought that, well, what do I want to do? I'm attacking on this diagonal. So I wanted to bring my bishop back to b1 and queen to c2 and have this battery. But I thought that my rook was a bit awkward here on a1. And I didn't want to bring the rook to d1, so I brought it to c1. But a4 here is probably more accurate, just to not give black any opportunities to play b5. But I didn't think it was necessary. I didn't even think b5 was such a big threat anyways. So I just played rook c1. And I thought that this file is actually quite useful. It's on the same file as the queen. And yeah, it's on the same file as the queen, and maybe later on some tactics can happen. So it will also be harder for her to play something like b4. So she played b5, I played knight e5, so bishop to b1 was also my candidate move, but I thought that there's no rush for it. And my knight to e5 is just improving my piece overall. If she takes it, I will take with the pawn, and I will be able to kick away this knight. She can't go to e4 because I'll just take it. I have 2 attackers. And she only has 1 defender, so she'll have to move back. And now the knight is no longer protecting h7. So now I thought, well, that's perfect for my plan. Or I could even bring my queen back and go this way. I guess I have to move either my bishop back or my queen back because she is threatening to play knight to c5 and trade one of my pieces. So I think queen d1 I prefer, just because there's more flexibility on the square that you go to. So she didn't take my knight, she played queen to b7. So I guess she's planning on bringing the rook over and maybe starting to push these pawns. But queen b7 isn't such a threatening move. So I played queen d1 here, which I am actually really happy about because my queen on b3 is no longer needed. I'm not attacking on b7 anymore. My queen was attacked on g4, so that's why I moved it. But now all my pressure is on the king side. So I need to bring my queen over to the king side as well. And queen d1 is the best way to do that because this diagonal is open. I can bring it to f3, which is what happened later as well. But queen d1, it seems like it's an undeveloping move. You bring your queen back to the original square, but you're just transferring it to the other side of the board. So she played rook c8, which I was happy to see because she's removing one of her pieces from the king side. And now my favorite move of the game. Well, maybe it's not my favorite. My favorite will come up. And then there will also be my favorite that I missed. But here I played rook e3. So I'm planning to play rook h3, and there's a nice tactic coming up. So she played knight to a5, which is her mistake. So knight a5 is a blunder. It's just too slow. She wants to play her knight to c4, but she won't even get a chance to play it, and she's ignoring completely what I'm starting to build over here. She should have played g6, and now after I play here, what should she play here? I guess maybe she can even start playing b4 or something. She doesn't have to be too slow. She doesn't have to wait, I guess. But if she plays knight a5, it's just much too slow. So rook h3. I'm actually threatening to take on h7 now, because if she plays something like b4, let's say, I can take on h7. If she takes back, I have this nice move queen a5. Queen h5. And if she moves the knight, I have checkmate on h8. So she can't actually protect the knight in any way. So I'm just going to end up taking the knight. I'm actually threatening mate in 2, so I think the only way for her to get out of it is probably moving her bishop. I take here, and then already this is terrible. I mean, the king is really weak. I'm actually a pawn up, and my attack is incredibly strong. I have to move my queen out of the way. Maybe I'll go here and attack here, but I'm just up in material. So that's what I'm threatening. I'm actually threatening to take on h7. So she played g6. And now the g-pawn is no longer protecting the knight, so it's time to bring the queen in. So queen f3, I'm threatening to play bishop g5 and double attacking this knight. And then also I have some ideas of taking on f7 as well. So here she brought her rook back to f8. She's wasting a lot of time. I mean, with knight here, rook to c8, rook back to f8, she lost a lot of time, and now it's actually already completely winning for white. So I played bishop h6 first to kick the rook out of there, just get a little extra move. Her best option is actually to leave the rook there, so she should actually leave the rook there. And what's her best move here? Maybe she can actually already just play her knight to c4, or she can maybe play knight to e4, and then just allow this sacrifice, this exchange of sacrifice to happen, because if she wastes another move, which is what happened, I get bishop g5, and wait for it, it's the great move is coming. So she defends it with the king. She can't move the knight out of the way because I'll just take on f7, and then it's going to be checkmate on h7. So she played king g7 to defend the knight. And now, pause the video and see if you can find the best move here. There's a really nice tactic. So if you can find it, let me know. And the Twitch chat can also try and find it. But the answer is knight takes f7. So you can actually sacrifice a knight here. Because if the king takes, you can take on h7. The knight is pinned, so you cannot take the rook. The king has to go to f8 or g8. Let's say if the king goes here. Now you can actually just take on g6. And this is just game over. You can take on g6, or I think you can also just take here as well. And if the king takes here, you have queen h3, or you have even nicer, queen h5. Because when the king goes, sorry, you can't take because there's a pin. And then you can just take on g6. And then it's just checkmate. So there's a lot of nice mating threats here. So yeah, so you can't take the knight because of rook h7. It's just too powerful, and it's game over. I mean, it's already kind of game over. So knight takes f7. She moved her knight to h5. And here, this is where I spent the majority of my time. I thought for like, I would say at least 25 minutes. I think it was 30 minutes. Maybe it was less than 30. But I knew rook h5 was the right move, but I was thinking, the move that I didn't find. So I saw all this. I knew she couldn't take, because then I have bishop h6, rook here, and then I've got mate in 2. Oh, sorry, she can't go here. Oh yeah, sorry, she can take and then I go here. So she can't take my my rook back. But what I was worried about was if she plays rook to f8. And what I didn't see was that after rook h7, which I saw queen h4, it's pinned. I missed the move queen takes g6. I didn't see that I could take on g6. I thought I would have to go to h8, and then she takes here, and from here, it's not even clear that white is winning anymore. So I was trying to find something. I was thinking about queen h7, but then I was like, well, the king just escapes, and I've already, well, not there, but I guess there, I actually don't have anything. So I didn't see, I didn't see queen g6. So if I went through with it, I obviously would have seen queen g6 because it's very obvious. But while I was calculating, I was like, well, I don't want to complicate myself because this is already completely winning. So if my calculation is wrong, then I've just wasted a whole game for my team and everything. So I might as well just keep calm and win a winning position. So here I just played bishop h6 check. But the thing is, everything is winning here, although this rook sacrifice is the most obvious win, and it's a very nice rook sacrifice. So I was worried about rook f8. If she takes my bishop here, I can actually just take back with the rook, and then I just win a full piece. So that doesn't work. Oh, wait, there's also this move, sorry. There's also this move, queen takes here. Sorry, there's also queen takes here, which I couldn't calculate properly. So here I think I need to maybe take back with the knight. So it's not the most obvious thing. Anyways, I played bishop h6, keeping it simple. she brought her king back, and then I brought my knight back just to avoid any pins, and I'm also threatening right now to go queen f7 check. So she brought her bishop back, and now she's defending the f7 square with her queen. And here I brought my bishop back. I didn't want to trade bishops. She brought her queen here, and now the knight is trapped, so the knight can't go anywhere. Queen g7 is taking away the final square for the knight to go back to, or the retreating square. And now g4 comes in, and the knight has nowhere to go. She attacked my bishop. I took a pawn. And here she played rook e7. So I'm threatening all kinds of things. Bishop f7. I mean, it's just... the position is a disaster. There's nothing she can do. If she takes here, I play bishop f7 check. If she moves her king, I can take with the rook, and it's just going to be checkmate in a few moves. Like, she has to block with the queen. I bring my queen in after she blocks here. Can you guys find the mate? Can you find the mate here? It's actually knight to g6. Look at that beautiful mate. Knight g6 mate. A mate with the knight. That would have been nice. We actually did get a mate with the knight in the first round, which was nice. So, that's not what happened in the game. So in the game she played rook e7, so I just took that rook. It's just a free exchange. She took back, and now I gave a check just to get her king to h8, and I took the knight back, because now I have a check with the knight. So when she plays this bishop to g5, I get a fork in, so I get this check, and I can take her bishop, and I'm just a full rook up. So I want to exchange pieces. And now for the spectacular finish, which I'm also really proud of. Well, I mean, this is the... it's an easy finish, but psychologically it feels a bit weird to do this. But her queen is attacking my rook on c1. So after queen f7, the king moves. It would make sense to just move my rook out of the way. But I've got a forcing mate here. So I can play bishop g6. She quickly took my rook. I think she thought that I missed that she could take my rook, because I actually did play it quite quickly. And then I moved my king up, and here she resigned, but she cannot stop queen h7. So it's just mate in one. She can delay it by giving a check, but it doesn't do anything. So a rook sacrifice to finish off with. This was really nice. I was really happy with that. So the light squares are really weak, and there's no more checks after that. So her queen can't come in to check me or anything. So that was the final game. Nice game to finish off the tournament with. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.